All right, welcome, Steve. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I am Jane Ward, also known as Trainer Jane, CEO and founder of Selling on the Spot Marketplace, where we are providing a platform of virtual events for you, the entrepreneur and business owner, to sell ethically, efficiently, and effectively to each other. We are about to celebrate our 5th year anniversary at Selling on the Spot Marketplace while simultaneously celebrating my 4th international best-selling
Isn't that
book.
amazing?
It is. I am very excited for this. So, Steve, I am thrilled that you are here with me today. This is Steve Samblis. His name is on the book. He is here. He is with Forbes
It's
Riley as the
behind me
publisher.
here too.
There you go. It's beautiful. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm happy to be talking to you. We actually we've been waiting to do this conversation for a while, and we finally made it happen.
Exactly. When it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
That's right. Absolutely.
Awesome. So please tell my viewers, because like I said, our database is of entrepreneurs, business owners, some sales professionals that are all around the globe. We have over 20 countries that are following us, that are part of our global community, that may or may not have heard of you yet, Steve, or the One Habit book series. And I'm thrilled to introduce you and your book series to them.
Well, thank you. What would you like me to talk about?
Well, let's start with this. Well, let's start with you.
Okay.
Give us a bit of a background first and then go into this book.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I started a publishing company about 19 months ago, and started it really out of necessity because I was I had this idea for a book about habits, because I had been, for the longest time, I grew up literally reading every book, listening to every audio program by every amazing motivational speaker on the planet. And I just got to a point in my life where I was thinking that there's got to be something more that differentiates these amazing performers, these high achievers, from who I was and who other people like I was. And I was at Greg Reed's Secret Knock about 3 years ago or so, and I was helping him do the video work on the walls. And so we had a break time where he basically, it's a thing, there's like 350 people, and he has all these speakers and just really amazing human beings that are up there that do their speeches. But they also mingle with the people in the crowd, sit at the tables with them, eat lunch with them, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so they were doing this thing where they're doing a book signing. And so I had my camera person with me. I said, you know what? I got this thing in my head that I just want to ask these people to see if there's something here. And so I came up with this. This is the question we're going to ask. We're going to ask them, if you could instantly instill in a child one habit, what would it be and why? Now, the reason I came up with this question is because it seemed to me that the only thing that was different between them was, were they more educated? Maybe. Were they luckier? Maybe. Were they in the right place, right time? Maybe. But the thing that really made the difference is, as I started listening to them, it seems like the habits, if I were to do the same things they did on a daily basis, made it part of the DNA of who I am, I believe that maybe that's the key. And so I started asking one at a time. I went to Frank Shankowitz, who started the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I had Ron Klein, who invented the magnetic strip on the back of your credit card. The guy that created the UPS stores, the guy who created Chuck E. Cheese, all these pretty interesting people, the guy who created Pictionary. And I asked him that question. And what amazed me was not only did they immediately know what the habit was, they knew what it was, but they were also super passionate about it. And that just blew me away. And I knew I was onto something. Well, that was 3 years ago. And then last July, about a year and a half ago or so, last July, I was like, what do I do with this? And I thought about doing a video and other things. And I said, I'm going to do a book. And so as I was creating the book, and it was actually a little bit longer than that, as I'm creating the book, I saw the path to publishing was so difficult. I was going to bring on a co-author with me that published a couple of books. How long before we can publish the book? He's told me, 2 years, maybe. I'm like, wow, that sucks. And I hired an amazing literary agent who loved the idea. He says, this is great. We're going to sell a lot of books. But Steve, you're not going to make any money. I go, what do you mean I'm not going to make any money? He goes, you don't write books to make money. I go, I don't think that's true. Have you ever seen a bookstore? Have you ever, have you ever been to a library? Have you ever seen anybody reading them? Come on, really? The authors don't make the money? No, they really don't make any money. And so I went to a friend of mine that self-published a series of horror novels called Zombie Fallout. And he does the writing, and his wife, they're a great team. His wife does the publishing, and she actually taught me every step to publish my first book, which I thought was going to be my only book, by the way. And that one book with 100 habits in it and reasons why has now turned into, we've done 6 now. They're all bestsellers. We've got another 20 in the hopper, and they're all now, the first one was just about habits in general. But then we drilled down, like the one behind us here that you're in. It's about entrepreneurial success as an entrepreneur. What's the one habit as an entrepreneur? We have we got something really cool too. This book here is 820 pages. It's the largest book ever published on the subject of entrepreneurship. Yeah, it's amazing. And by the way, how do people use the book, by the way? Do they read it from the beginning to the end? How would you?
No, not this one. No, this is flip through, and yeah, which one do you want to read today? Absolutely, it's brilliant.
Exactly, and that and all that stuff just kind of started becoming something. So the books you don't read from the beginning and go through them, because that one has 155 different contributors. It's got over 300 habits in it. You just flip through it, and you land on a habit, and you look at it and go, you know what? If I do that, if I make that part of my life will be better as an entrepreneur. And that's the key. And then once you make that part of you, where you're just automatically doing this every single day, it can take anywhere from a week to 30 days. It might take more, but for most people, a week to 30 days. After you do that, you flip through again, and you land on another one. You go, wow, okay. Because I started, what's so interesting, I love the book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, and like that, but I'm like, I think I wanted to drill down farther and not just say, these are the exterior broad habits. I want to go right to, as an entrepreneur, what is the thing you did? What's the actual thing you did? And the habits are amazing because they don't just fix your business as this one does. It kind of fixes your whole life, which is pretty extraordinary.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. And I love that you even said that you have 20 books in the hopper. I want to make sure everybody caught that. Not just one in the hopper, 20.
Yeah. If you guys go to onehabit.com, you'll see the ones that are coming up. And by the way, my company, it became something very interesting too. It started off where I was thinking that my customer was the person that bought the books. That's after I did my first book. Okay, I'm going to do more books now. I thought my customer is the person that buys the books. I realized that my true client was the contributors, the co-authors. Because if I take care of you guys, you're one of them, and if I give you all the tools physically possible to tell your story in the biggest way possible, where the world will love you and just beat a path to your doorway and want more of you, we will sell more books. So that's
brilliant. Yeah,
that's my main goal.
And that is a big part of why I chose to be a contributor. And a big part of why being a co-author makes sense. It's the collaboration. Riley and I'm proud to say, already are business partners in regards to selling on the media training. And she introduced me to you, right? She introduced me to the book. So that's already opening doors. That's already making me an international bestseller with you.
Isn't that amazing? Yes.
And then, of course, because, go ahead.
Yeah, but by the way, how cool is it, the other contributors, how you guys just connected? Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely. Yeah, it brings people together because we have this shared interest in common, right? We're interested in getting to know each other and reading each other's chapters. I stepped up and said I would love to interview as many as I can, which I started this week, which has been awesome. So I'm reading their chapters, I'm getting to know them because, again, I care about helping the entrepreneurs grow, helping whether it's to grow their business in general or specifically connect them through my global community to other entrepreneurs. And
there you go. Yeah.
So I said, yes, absolutely. Get into my schedule. Let's get to know each other. And I think there's a few Canadians in there, so we especially are bonding.
We've got a lot of Canadians in there. There's a bunch of you guys.
Oh, maybe there's more Canadians in there than I know about.
There you'd be surprised. There's a lot of you guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited to be in this. I got the pleasure, of course, of reading your chapter. Do you want to share just briefly about what you wrote personally?
No, I want them to buy the book.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect teaser.
But I will say this. Each habit in the book, this is why they're interesting, because they're deceptively simple. And to the point that as I was reading the habits, because I read every habit as I started doing all the books, some of them I was able to apply in my life right away. Some of them are just really simple things. Some take a little bit longer because you got to struggle to get to it, because it's a little bit harder,
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much on a consistent basis, because what we do is we say, okay, here's the habit. Now, why is this? Here's the reason why that habit's important. And the whys are very compelling. And the other thing we do too, by the way, is we also say each of you authors give an unhabit, something to get rid of. And those are interesting, because those are something you can you go, oh, why did I do that? Why do I do this? And then those are sometimes easier to break than it is to build a habit. And so the one habits, and what was really interesting to me, most of the habits were very unique. I didn't get a lot of repeats on the habits, basically. But on the unhabits, there were some habits I was finding some strong consistency, and I'd like to share that with you. So,
Sure.
The most common unhabit, the most common thing to get rid of, has truly been negative self-talk. I was surprised, and I actually had to write back to contributors, go, listen, we've already got that like 900 times. Can you give us another on someone else to break? But some of them just put it in a different way. So we said, okay. But it was so interesting to me. But that was one of the things that so many successful people said that they had to get rid of, that was in their life. And when they did get rid of it, it was like rubbing dirt off of a lens of a camera. All of a sudden you can just see everything, and it's bright, and it's shiny, and the dirt you could have rubbed the dirt off all this time, but you left it on there because you didn't want to just go like this, So I thought that's kind of an amazing thing. And I think it's something that, well, obviously, because so many people felt it was important, and I've had like 600 authors in my book so far, I think it's something people should really think about.
That is fantastic. Yes, I believe my unhabit for sure was related to that as well. You may not know, but my background is in emotional intelligence training, communications training. So therefore it is about the self-awareness, the self-management. So when I was contributing to this book, it was same, just like you said, with everybody else, I automatically knew what my habit was going to be. I automatically knew what my unhabit was going to be. And it was just a matter of putting it into words. And again, communicating my message, because that is what I care about. It's for me, and what we do at Selling on the Spot Marketplace as well is about what words would you use, what intonation, and of course, self-management again. How are you not just present on the camera in this virtual world, but when we're selling to each other, whether it's a product or service, how are we going to convey that?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
So as one of our contributors, I'm always interested in this.
Sure.
How was the process for you that we created to contribute the book? How did you find it?
Oh, it was brilliant because it was so easy to apply. It was so easy to send the information to you since it was just essentially on one page. And I'm a thinker for sure. I have to analyze and I have to make sure my best work is out. So once I looked at what you needed, I had to ponder that a little bit before I was ready to put it together. But I loved that you had a system for it. And it was that easy to register, and you guys were quick with everything. You were professional with everything. I've never known a company that puts together a book that quickly, let alone 154 or so.
We were fast, weren't we? Was that amazing?
It was awesome. It was awesome. And I was thrilled that I'm actually out of town right now, but the second I was leaving my house to go to the airport a few days ago is when my shipment of books arrived.
Oh, that's so cool. I saw your video. That's right. I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
amazing.
had a friend dropping me off at the airport. I'm like, we can't leave. I need to shoot a video. I got my books. I'm
Wow.
so
That's
excited. I
so
need to
cool.
open them. And so I gifted my house sitter one of the books. That was one of my paid
Good. That's great.
books. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, one of the things we do, Jane, that I think is just really cool, and then we've done that since the first book, is everybody gets 6 books and they keep one, they give 5 away. And the smiles you put on people's faces when you give them knowledge at a time where we just we need more knowledge. We need more guidance and direction right now. And you kind of always need to, but now especially, I guess. And so what everybody does is they when you do the giveaway, you take a picture of the person holding the book, and it's just the most beautiful thing to see these hundreds of people holding the book and smiling, and the life that takes on in itself, because they're like, wow, it's they that book means so much more to them than if they went and got it themselves, because now they kind of owe it to you to find the habits in them. Your house sitter is going to look at it and go, okay, when she comes back, I'm going to be like, I just did these 2 things, and that's part of who I am now. Boom. Which I think
Absolutely.
is
And I
really
love that that was part of the process too, that we were going to get these books and it's meant to be paying them forward.
cool.
Because again, I care about community, I care about relationships. We are all about relationships first. And I love that this way, especially during these challenging times, that people can be picking up a book about positive habits, because chances are they've unhabited some good habits over the years.
Yeah. There's people that had great things in them that kind of just basically let them go now. But I tell you
Yeah.
what's interesting. So the book on entrepreneurial success made so much sense because it works now, but it's going to translate when we're back to normal environments, right? But the other book that Forbes and I are doing, and we haven't really officially announced this completely, we kind of teased you guys a little bit. We're doing another version of One Habit for a Thriving Home Office, the Ultimate
Mhm.
Edition.
Mhm.
And it's going to be our group of people that have been in the books, and a few others are going to come in. And it's going to be another 820-page book. So you're going to have One Habit on entrepreneurial success, and you're going to have One Habit on working from home. And these 2 books together can be unbelievably powerful, because that not only are more people working from home right now, but as they figured it out, they realized this was kind of a good thing. I mean, a high percentage of people that are no longer having to drive an hour to work in the morning, an hour home,
Mhm.
commuting back and forth, whether it's a drive or train or whatever it might be, not having to go and spend lunch money somewhere, not having to go dress a special way every day. The money you save, the time you save, and the quality of life that you put back into your own home, your own family, your own life is a game changer. And so I'm really excited that we're going to start uh, building the book. And the way it works basically is if you are somebody with a brilliant mind that works from home and you'd be interested in being one of our contributors, you go to onehabit.com/home office. And there's a form there. And it starts with a video from Forbes Riley talking about what this book is all about. And in the form, you just basically fill out it's 1 box at a time. Here's my habit. Here's my reason why. Here's my unhabit. Here's my elevator pitch. And I think this book is going to be a game changer. And I would like to have it available in stores by the end of December. And I think there's a chance we can do it. And then that would give us 2 of the largest books ever published, one on entrepreneurial success and one on working from home.
Because one wasn't enough this quarter.
Well, you need bookends, don't you? You need both sides, you know.
There you go. Yeah. So does that mean it's going to be a similar number of pages?
It's going to be exactly the same number of pages. It's going to be exactly the same size. And Forbes and I are really excited about this. When we started talking about it, and she was like, "We got to do this," and because it just works in unison. And I just think that book and this book together, if you have these 2 tools in your hand, entrepreneurial success and a thriving home office, I think you can just conquer the world. And by the way, you do it 1 habit at a time. You just do one, build it, you grow. And quite frankly, if you literally just were to open that book and make 1 habit improvement, it would really change your life. It would really change your life.
Yes. Yes. And it speaks to the positivity. It speaks to something that you can learn. And then, of course, we encourage everybody to put it into action, because till they put it into action, nothing's going to change. But
Yep.
yeah, absolutely brilliant, full of great tips and information. So considering the fact that I know this is the world's largest book on entrepreneurialism, that's why I was asking if the next book was going to be the same length or one page more, just so that you can say that one's a base.
Well, this one is on entrepreneurial success. The other one's going to be on working from home.
Yes.
The largest book on working from home. Boom.
There you go. There you go. I love that. I love that you have big goals and then you achieve them.
Yeah, I do not put a toe in the water.
Yeah.
I'm hands first.
Very
True. Yes.
Very true. Now, something I did not ask you in advance, because you've yet to be to a selling on the spot marketplace event, but that's okay. But what I want, the reason I'm bringing that up is because part of our model, going back to communications, is that we ask people to explain who they are and who they serve and how they serve them. In one sentence. So not meaning to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you, do you have like a clear statement that you can say that summarizes what you do?
I think so. Yeah. So I'm a publisher well, my main mission in life is to find brilliant, undiscovered minds and place them on the largest platform possible to tell their story through our One Habit book series.
I love that. That is so well said. I had a feeling you would be able to craft that very easily.
I should probably write that down.
Yeah, exactly. We've recorded it, so that helps.
Good.
You wordsmith that very well. Awesome.
Yeah.
I do appreciate your time. Do you have a tagline or a favorite quote or something that you would like to end with to share?
This is a funny one because it's about a friend of mine, Peter Weller, is an actor, and he was in a movie called Buckaroo and Banzai. And he says in the movie, he says, no matter where you go, there you are. And it's such a silly quote, but it actually is meaningful because people are always, they're moving and they're looking and they're searching for something else. And and the bottom line is it's always you. So remember that and just make the you better. Change your habits, change your life. And then what's interesting about the change your habits, it doesn't just change your business, but it changes the way you interact with people, the way you bring people to you. The whole world changes when you reshape and redefine who you want to be, and you do that through right habits.
I love that, and I appreciate even the tone in which that you conveyed that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, Steve. Thank you for joining me. I'm thrilled to be in your book. Thank you for helping me become a published co-author again and international bestseller, and certainly in the biggest book of entrepreneurial success. So lots of firsts that we're sharing, and I look forward to doing more business with you in the future.
I agree. Thank you, Jen. You're just a joy to work with. I'm happy we got to talk today, and I look forward to a lot more of these discussions as we continue to grow and get better and serve more people.
For sure. So what website would you like my audience to go to find your book?
Go to One Habit, the number one habit.com. Learn all about us there. Everything's there.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you again. So I'm Jane Ward, Trainer Jane, and I ask you to subscribe to our channel here at Selling on the Spot. Thank you again, Steve. Take care.